Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto YAHAWAH WA YAHAWASHI BaHashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bias Shadabadat, the house of David. Amaya Shatad.
I'm corrupt as I.
Coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. You are the true children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. Salvation belongeth unto you and you alone. All right, have a lesson for you today, Lord willing. It be uplifting and edifying unto the body. The name of the lesson is going to be from chaos to glory. All right, from chaos to glory. All right, so Lord willing, this be edifying, uplifting unto the body. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started.
This is going to be the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 43. It says, "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come, wherein corruption is past."
Right, so Yahweh Shemi Shai said the end. All right, the day of doom is the end. All right, so as you're starting to see more pestilence, as you start to see more wars and rumors of wars and people, civil unrest and people amping up and waxing worse and waxing cold one to another, understand this is the very time that Yahweh Shemi Shai has warned of. All right, hey, as Trump has, came to the forefront, Elon Musk has came to the forefront, the prophets are doomed are on the highways and byways. All right. Hey, destruction is knocking at the door. And it's definitely destruction in Babylon the Great, but chaos and disorder around the whole world. So now, how much more Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, you Israelites, how much more should you take heed to the word? There's no more denying. Okay? It's becoming ever more apparent.
Mm-hmm. This is the same verse in the GNT. It says, "But the judgment day will be the end of the present age and the beginning of the future age.
Mm-hmm.
Then all corruption will end."
Right. Beginning of the future age and all corruption will end. But before we get there, we got to go through this time period. Right. This time period is going to be a very crucial time period, and we're in the midst of gas shortages, not only shortages but without gas, famine. All right. Yeah, everything. We Apostle Tahar already deemed that we're in Jacob's trouble. 4 months back. Okay. Now, how much more is it going to amp up and amplify? All right, so how much more does your faith have to play a part? How much more do you have to do for Yahweh Shem Yahushai to stay grounded in Yahweh Shem Yahushai?
Okay. And that corruption is going to be at an end because Jacob will be in rulership. The righteous will be in rulership.
Mm-hmm.
And just as it says, I was talking about the ages, 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, when it says Esau shall be the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follow. That world is Ion, and that's the age, a period of time.
Right. And, the only period of time that doesn't have an end is eternity. All right? Mm-hmm. And that eternity is for the Israelites.
Yeah. And that goes and proves that this age, this time period that we're living in is wicked.
God.
Once again. You ready to move on?
Yeah, it's lucky.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah. So I thought I had it. This is Jeremiah 7 and verse 2. And it says, "Stand in the gate of Yahweh's house and proclaim there this word. And say, hear the word of Yahweh, all ye of Judah that enter in at the gates to worship Yahweh."
Right, and it started with the head tribe of Judah. All right, hey, as Yahushua is the Lion of Judah. All right, So to hear the word first was Judah, but also to proclaim the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was Judah. And proclaimed it unto who? His brother. All right? The rest of the tribes of the nation of Israel, all right, was to hear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's word and to take heed of that word. All right, enter into his house. All right, to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, no more to be led astray, to be reprobates. Okay.
Verse 3. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place.
Right, the power of Israel. So that's all the tribes, yet giving more reverence to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has a people. All right? And that he is the God of Israel. He is no other God. He belongs to no one else. Yes, he is Yahweh is I am. He is he. All right? He is the one that has created all things for him and by him. All right, for himself, his only begotten son, to push for his will and his work, and then his men of his ministry. But he loves the Israelites. No other nation. All right, so we're receiving our hell and receiving the end of this age as an ass whooping. All right, and it's like right before your ass whooping's done, if you've ever had any kind of ass whooping from a parent, you know those last 2 or 3 licks are the ones that really get you. It's the first one and then the last 2 or 3. All right, just to let you know that they're serious. All right, got it.
This is going to be the book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse 20, and it reads, Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee.
Right.
You got it?
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, enter into thy chambers, thou people. Not all of Israel is going to make it. All right? All of Israel is not going to make it. This is a select, elect few. It is the few, the proud, and the brave that stood up stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It is those who will sacrifice any and everything to be found worthy, or to be found just and true in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It comes with a cost, and most people cannot count the cost. They can't get out of their own way. They can't get out of themselves, or can't get out of this current life, worrying about what is and what's to be. You worry about what's to be, but not what's to be for your soul. You want to know what's to be in the world. Oh man, when who's going to win the next championships? You know, when is such and such star going to do this? When's that Michael Jackson 2 coming out? Who gives a shit? Worry about your salvation. Worry about your soul.
And it says, hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
Right, that indignation is a very terrible time. That's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai pouring out his fury, his judgment, his anger, his wrath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indignation goes into righteous judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey, and how does Yahweh Bashem Yahushai righteously judge? How does he righteously cleanse the earth? Hey, fire, water. All right, judgment can come. There's a jabillion ways, to get got, to lose your life. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has every single one of them figured out. One is appointed for you. If you follow not the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds, 2/3 of the nation of Israel will get it. All right? You will suffer famine, pestilence. All right? All to be brought back up, to be laid back down by thermonuclear fire. YAHAWAH is not playing.
And you know, as we were reading in Jeremiah, that pertained to the southern kingdom. You know, and you know, each northern and southern kingdom got their judgments. You know, when they were pretty much as a northern kingdom was put into captivity first. You know, under the Assyrians, and then you know fled, and they were you know they were lost first, and then the same thing pretty much happened to Judah going into you know the Babylonian captivity. All right, but here you know they're going to be judged together.
God, that's I meant to get that.
What
they'll be judged together.
Well, that's Jeremiah 50.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, that said that they're oppressed together.
Yeah, oppressed together, but oppressed. Yeah.
And well, it's the spirit that is coming out. You know that, and primarily, you know, oppressed together. Well, this is the place of our captivity.
God.
You know, as the scripture says. I could go through it. God. But you want me to read 21 first?
Yeah, you can read 21 first.
Then we'll hit that real quick. It says Isaiah 26 and 21, and you know, before I read this, you know, that's part of the stick becoming one.
Yep.
You know, because that affliction, you know, that affliction here in the Americas, you know, binded Israel together through that hard time, you know. And then ultimately that was part of the punishment that would, you know, start the wheels turning to put us in remembrance of who we really are and put away our, you know, our differences pretty much.
Right.
And come to realize that, hey, we come from the same people.
Right.
You know?
We're of the same seed line.
Yeah. And so Isaiah 26 and 21 says, "For behold, Yahawah cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain."
Right. YAHAWAH is going to let this devil's shame be revealed. Right? All the atrocities that this devil is doing, hey, you're starting to see it now. You're starting to see what they're doing in their policies. Okay? You're starting to see the historical events come up. As it's getting uncovered, they're trying to turn right back around and cover it back up.
Yeah, and still deny it.
And still deny it.
And deny it and then brush it off.
Right.
And then put a new story of how they were oppressed.
Continuing to try to be found blameless. I got it right here.
A villain victim. Yeah.
Yep, a villain victim.
But then they have the caucasity to you know say that you know we're the problem and we have you know that there's that black fatigue and what's that? It's called something syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Not Stockholm syndrome.
Or,
pretty much like you complaining about everything.
Oh no, I was thinking of.
I can't think of it exactly how it's worded, but you know, they try to say like Jake just cry too much about their affliction.
Just
I can't
whining.
think of that exact term, but
yeah, just whining. You know, get over it. It was a work program. You know, it was the betterment of you. Gave you skills that you needed. Right, and in essence, you know, we can say it was the skills that YAHAWAH wanted us to have.
Yeah, but that was Stockholm syndrome was a result of all that affliction.
Yep. I got it. This would be here in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and start at verse 4, and it reads, "In those days and and in that time, saith Yahawah, the children of Israel shall come." Salakia.
It's verse 33.
Salakia. Yeah. I was like, that's why I was saying Salakia. I was like, hold on. There we go. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 33, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." Right? And hey, you see that now till this very day. Even though DJ Trump is, shipping away, so-called. All right, hey, he's giving them license back to say, you can come and join. You just have to do it the proper way.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, and then looking for a place to ship the so-called Negro, right? At this time, because it's already in the books that we belong here.
Yeah. And now it's all Americans.
Right.
Well, we don't belong here. I'll say.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, we don't belong here, but as constitutional doctrine, governmental doctrine dictates.
That's all land
on us, but we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah, I got
Malcolm X.
Zechariah 11:5. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty."
Mm-hmm.
And they that sell them say, "Blessed be Yahawah, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." And so Esau, writes it off as nothing.
Yeah, writes it off as a write-off.
Right.
On taxes.
Right. And you see, he don't pay his taxes. And can sue the hell out of the IRS and all these other things. But even when that came out with the not WEF, with what's the Gutierrez dude that runs
World Economic Forum.
No. It was
not ear swabs.
No, it's the nation of I was gonna say League of Nations would fail. So when the UN recognized that the transatlantic slave trade as one of the most horrific crimes in humanity, and then started proposing, a reparation of it. Who the two countries that didn't acknowledge it was America and the I,
the party hats.
Use,
So, but they make sure they get theirs.
Yeah, but that's them holding themselves not guilty.
Hey, going to yet show that those are two of the same nation. All right.
Yeah. They on the same accord.
They're on the same accord, right?
Just like how they're trying to combine, armies and forces.
Yep. So, hey, Yahawaah Shai is making this devil bear.
What I say, the IDGAF.
Yeah.
Israel defense. Hey, America gets fucked. Israel defense gets America fucked.
Yeah. Hey, it's like the reverse Captain Planet.
Right.
I don't know if y'all remember that episode, but
I don't give a.
What
are you talking about with Don Cheadle or?
No, it's an actual scene. It's an actual cartoon where Captain Planet is reverse. Okay. He's trying to kill the planet.
Oh, yeah. No, I only got a few. But yeah.
Yeah, kind of Salaki.
This is Jeremiah. It's going to be the 21st chapter in the 3rd verse. It says, Then said Jeremiah unto them, Thus shall ye say to Zedekiah, Thus saith Yahawah, power of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands.
Right, YAHAWASHI is turning back the weapons of war that are in our hands to use them against us. All right, for the disobedience, for everything that we had shown. All right, because, hey, we understand that YAHAWASHI is not going to let this thing just be Egypt again. All right, we are not all gonna make it through the sea. All right, YAHAWASHI saved all of Israel once. All right, but now he's only coming for the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, so everything that Jake really boasts and brag about, spiritually, really is Jake's pride. All right, from a times past. There's still pride that Jake is holding when he's lost the love of YAHAWASHI for a moment, because Jake is without. Okay, not having the fear that it takes to serve YAHAWASHI.
Yeah, and this was Jeremiah saying, to Zedekiah, like, hey, what you got going ain't gonna work because the Lord not with you.
Mm-hmm.
Likening that to today, like
pulpit pimps.
The way, the churches and everything. We're seeing how that's, how, Christ ain't working out too good for you guys.
Right. How the beginning of how Genesis, right? The beginning of the end came. All right. Naming the downfall of their church. It was the downfall.
Yeah.
All right. It was the beginning of the downfall.
Yeah, because the scriptures say when the Lord's with you, who pretty much who can stop you or who is against you.
Right.
Going on to strive for the truth and the Lord shall fight for thee. So he makes a way when you don't even have nothing. He could teach your hands to war.
Right.
YAHAWASHI
is he who turns nothing into something and makes something nothing. All right. It's not of your own will. All right, and you knew these guys were gonna fall off and fall out, hey, because they were fruit of gorilla. All right, hey, they followed the apostles for a minute and for a while. Then pride puffed them up, and then they went on about their business.
Yeah.
Leading the flock astray.
Continuing on, it says, Wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon and against the Chaldeans which besiege you without the walls, and I will assemble them into the midst of the city.
Right, you took the bag. You took the bag, essentially. You used the same weapons that they used against the weaponry you used against them. They turned around and used it against you. Now they infiltrated. They infiltrated so they could help lead astray. By your hands and by your doing. All right. Hey, the false prophets. That is a weapon of Esau. It is a weapon ultimately of YAHAWASHI, but it's just another tool in the bag. This devil has a lot of worldly strength. And most of it is to do with his financial system. For you Jakes. Right?
Yeah. And this was, being done, pretty much that defense that was covering Israel or the southern kingdom at this time wasn't going to be there, And YAHAWASHI made that way for, Babylon, at this time, just to walk right up in there, as it says.
And that's essentially what has been done. Now to this day, it has been done again. For what? For the lack of leadership. For the lack of fervent love. All right, that you are supposed to have towards your brother, towards YAHAWAH first and foremost, for this truth. Now YAHAWAH is coming back unto us, and YAHAWAH said, judgment shall start in my house first. Everything's starting to get cleaned up through the will and power of YAHAWAH.
Yep.
All right, Salaki, dog was.
Jeremiah 21:5, it says, and I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath.
All right, YAHAWAH has allowed this devil to put all these devices on the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian, as well as the speckled bird whose father's line goes back. But how much more in this day and time, and how much more can you start seeing? Now you so-called Negroes, all right, are starting to see it more. You're starting to feel it more, all right, because it ain't all good in the hood. It ain't like it used to be, like you could make the best out of a bad situation. That shit is gone. It's only the best out of a bad situation if you have YAHAWAH. All right? And if you don't have YAHAWAH, it's just a very fucked up situation that's going to get worse. All right? And you Northern Kingdom out there, you're going to suffer the same thing. You're going to suffer the same thing.
Yeah, because the scriptures say in Proverbs that the king's heart is in the Lord's hand. So the things that DJ's doing, being that cruel leader, that cruel one, all right, and the great wrath that you about to experience, that's all from YAHAWAH, just as a final chastisement. And like he did to the Southern Kingdom, and this time he gonna do, he gonna do it again. It's just gonna be on another level. Why? Because that's the story he wrote, but because it's Babylon the Great.
Yeah.
All right. It's a greater salvation for the elect, but it's gonna be like that time like no other. So he got to go above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
he's gonna do a marvelous work for salvation. He's gonna do a marvelous work at destruction.
Right.
All right. Hey, so much that this salvation will be the only thing that's talked about, and the destruction will be the only thing that's remembered.
Yeah, we can go to here and look at how it was done, and the tragedy that would bloodshed that was spilled in ancient times. All right, and that's just a foreshadowing.
Yep.
There's nothing new under the sun, but this is just with new technology, new devices, new under a new, and refined
devil.
Yeah, a refined beast system. Where they have and a knowledge increased.
Right. So
they have the damn near the capability to do the bio engineering and hacking and gene splicing and all these other, that just allows them to push even more pestilence out. And a pestilence is their sword to actual something that gets you sick.
Hey, and this is not medical information. Please do your own research. All right.
And they already defiled the whole earth.
Right. Hey, from the air to the dirt. All right. From the air to the sea. All right. Because as we know, There's sand in the sea.
Just so they could give you the reason with all these, polycrisis to take that sea, to lead the cattle, okay, now there's so much, multiple things happening that we got to know if you have something for the safety of your loved one. It's the same story over again. C19.
Yeah, continual same story. Hey, they did it. They
bring it back. And
back.
It's the same exact
time
script.
and time again. Same playbook.
A brother had posted that every how many years you see one of these things pop up.
Yep, every 50, 60 years.
They just finally pulled the trigger on 19, and then right when 19 was out, who was talking about there's going to be a more devastating one coming out? The artificer himself. He's a Tabul King.
Lord Xbox.
Right.
That's his name.
That was one of the king's descendants was an artificer of creator of these of weapons.
Yep. Hey.
So this is Jeremiah 21:6. And I will smite the inhabitants of this city, both man and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence.
Right. It goes to show you YAHAWAH is coming to bring destruction. Mm-hmm. Great destruction is coming. Wrath is here, but destruction is knocking. YAHAWAH is about to lay everything in its proper place, and that which belongs in the dust will be unto dust.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah.
You got it.
This is Jeremiah 26:2. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, stand in the court of Yahweh's house, and speak unto all the cities of Judah, which come to worship in Yahweh's house, all the words that I command thee to speak unto them, diminish not a word."
Right, diminish not a word. Give them the matter and give them it true. Let them know what's going on. Tell them that this age is at an end. Let them know that YAHAWAH is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that death, famine, destruction, woes, all right, pestilence, everything is here knocking at the door.
Right. And that goes into a prophet is supposed to give the whole, it says diminish not a word. Why did the Lord do that? Because why is it said like that? Because they need to hear the whole warning, and he didn't want Jeremiah
to just give a piece.
Be like, because you got to know that's not saying Jeremiah was scared, but the same reasons why Jonah was afraid to go and to Assyria. Well, Jeremiah had to go on.
He was hesitant.
He had to go on the run.
Right.
He knew they not gonna like this. Just
YAHAWAH told him they not gonna like it.
Right.
Right. Nobody wants to. Hey, what does Israel say? Speak unto me smooth things. All right. Tell me those good things. I don't want to hear about the bad.
But this is how it has to come out. That's your responsibility as it, and it's not. Not to and hey, Jeremiah was dealing with false prophets too.
Yep. All the way through and through. So now YAHAWAH, hey, brought it back again, and false prophets being exposed yet again.
Yeah, because before the end of the fall, that sifting has to go through. He said he's gonna judge the house of the Most High first. That starts with the Israelites that know that they're Israel. All right, that don't want to admit what the CHIP is when they know damn well, and the whole world can see that it's clearly gonna be the future of, or what
Future of everything.
think the future of this society is.
Right, future of all common based society, right? As well as denying the name, changing up the name, and now you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Right. This is all cares of a false prophet. Right. All wayward doctrine changing at the blink of an eye in a moment's notice.
But he gotta, the Most High gotta prove that they were all wrong.
Yeah.
This is verse 3. It says, if so be they will hearken and turn every man from his evil way, that I may repent me of the evil which I propose to do unto them, because of the evil of their doings.
Right, and this is why Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai made that remnant, had that remnant, right? Because once again, as we were discussing in Bible study, this was Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai's thought. It's like a thought. He said he would never do away with the nation of Israel, and he's not a man that he should lie. All right, but this is how Israel was making him feel.
Yeah. But this is like.
But he's crying out for the wickedness, saying, "I don't want to do it, but I am going to do it because you go off."
He didn't. He knew they wasn't going to repent. Though.
Right.
The
can't get right.
Right.
He
just gave him that,
the stern talking.
If y'all were to, come back.
This is what could happen. But I know that you won't.
So this judgment gonna play its course. This is 2nd Esdras 7:44. Intemperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and the truth is sprung up.
And this is what Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai has done in these days.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this definition real quick for intemperance. It says overindulgence and drinking. So
all the partying and BS is done. You see now that people, the clubs is dead. Your streamers are your influencers are not influencing like they used to. It's not about all partying and BS anymore. All right, there's more there's heavier matters at hand. Mm-hmm. The folly and the pride is fallen of Babylon the Great.
Then they're losing it,
Right.
Everybody's stressing. People are mourning because they could tell there's a spirit out. Even though even in Vegas right now, it ain't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places in the world it's not that bad. Or more so in America. You just had a crazy ass. I don't know if she just started talking, but you just had a crazy ass riot in France going on.
Yeah, but Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai is saving the best for last.
So that overindulgence is at an end. Intemperance is at an end. There's not a substance to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say it's partly because it's going to be because of the famine.
Right.
Famine's coming too.
The price of everything. These devils gaslighting you like it's nothing. You know, when they have it, but you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then people also trying to cope with it, you know, to and are lying to themselves, and trying to just live like it's not really happening.
It's not gonna affect me. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna bounce back, right?
But you gonna have to deal with, because you gonna have to deal with the matter at hand. You're gonna have to deal with the truth.
Right.
You gotta
Reality.
face the facts. Babylon's dead. America done.
She was on life support, but now they're about to pull the plug.
They said we got a month left.
Right.
It says, verse 45, it says, then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory.
Hey, YAHAWASHI is turning this thing back around. Right side up instead of upside down. The everything is coming to an end of this age. YAHAWASHI said all these things that are going forward have to be before the end comes. All right? This is the end. This is the doom. All right? Not only you're not hearing of rumors of wars, you're seeing war. You're not hearing of pestilence, you're seeing multiple pestilence. Mm-hmm. You're not hearing of the RFID hip. All right, you see the RFID hip and its many forms. Whether it's Neuralink, Neuralweb, Walmart, digital tattoo, doesn't matter. YAHAWASHI said all this would come before the day of doom, the day of destruction. So how much more do you need to know that you are in the midst of the chaos and the disorder that is about to happen? All right?
Mm-hmm. It says Jeremiah 29:18. It says, and I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment and an hissing and a reproach among all the nations, whither I have driven them.
And that's exactly what YAHAWASHI did. And wanted to call it out again, just for the remembrance that Israel scattered of the sand is scattered as the sand of the sea, and this is exactly why the whole world is going to get it. There's no escaping. It's bad over there, it's bad over there, and it's bad over here. And it's going to be that much worse over here in that day and that time.
Verse 19, it says, because they have not hearkened to my words, saith Yahweh, which I sent unto them by my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye would not hear, saith Yahweh.
If you take not heed to the word of YAHAWASHI, you have no hope. If you turn your back on YAHAWASHI and denied YAHAWASHI, you have no hope.
Yeah, and if the Lord didn't set it up for this to be the time of his deliverance, hey, Esau would get that win, and he put this whole world in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the Lord's gonna deliver us from world domination.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's truly what was being happening, and he's through saving Israel, the elect of Israel, he's saving the whole entire earth and all the inhabitants.
It just starts with Israel.
And then now your chastisement comes because you allowed this shit to happen as well. You know?
Yep. Hey, because YAHAWAH is just.
Right.
Right? You were on that one accord. All right? You were on one accord with the devil.
So, Moab, you got to play the wash pot.
Yep.
You know?
Hey, Esau, Edom, you are just, you have 1,000 years of captivity of really building up the kingdom.
Yeah.
And then you'll be done away with.
But Ishmael gonna get it.
Hey, Ham gonna get it, serving the servants.
Right. You know, get your blessing. You know.
Right.
Ishmael gonna be a lot of eunuchs.
Right. Hey. But it's all through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is prophecy.
It's like my mom. Yeah, this is gonna be Jeremiah the 31st chapter. In the first verse it says, "At the same time saith Yahweh, will I be the power of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith Yahweh, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest."
Right. Here it is, that remnant. A remnant of the nation of Israel will be saved. That remnant, Yahweh Shem Yahushai's elect, will be saved. Those who were left from the sword, those who had entered the secret chambers, but for a little while, till the indignation has passed. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is coming to put in real work. He is coming to put in judgment. He is coming to restore righteousness on the earth. No fairy tales. No bullshit. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is coming.
Verse 3 says, Yahweh hath appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Again I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make you merry, that make merry.
Right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai said we will rejoice. To make merry, we shall be in his good stead, and he shall have love for us again.
Yeah, that's that happy ending.
Right.
You know. But it's going to be, the Lord glorifying us.
God. And rebuilding the houses and families of Israel in righteousness, in his image, in his way. Right? To be holy, to be separate, to be above. All right? As we are set apart and made to be above all other nations, being Yasharallah, he Prince of the Power. With the care, the discipline, and the love that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has instilled in us from the beginning as his nation. I think it's one more, right?
No, that was it.
All right. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, Lord willing, this was edifying and uplifting. I'm going to give all honor and glory and praise unto YAHAWAH WA YAHAWASHI BaHashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening learning, to the Baisha Dabadat, the house today. Till the next time we say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Ba Ba Ba, Shalom.